Let me start by asking you how you would rate Nigeria's startup and tech ecosystem.
Exciting, promising, lots of really interesting ideas. I know that the country talks a lot about fintech and the innovation that is happening in the financial industry. This is absolutely true. I can tell you this is not everything. There is some pretty amazing things that I can see in health tech. There is also a very interesting thing that I can see in agrotech and food tech. I've also seen a couple of young entrepreneurs doing interesting startups around educational tech. And so to me, there's just this ecosystem that is becoming more and more and more robust, with more people, young and less young, who suddenly think, oh, wait a minute, I could also be a tech entrepreneur, and let me go and talk to Techstars. Maybe they can help me do that. And that to me is amazing. We come here as guests. We come here to say, hey, we have a knowledge. We've been running this kind of investment structure for a really long time in dozens of countries. We think you have a great ecosystem. How can we contribute? How can we bring with us the mentors, the 20,000 investors who have invested in Techstars portfolio companies at one point or another, and plug them into the already existing ecosystem to make it even more robust and even more vibrant. That's what we do. We connect people at scale, and we believe that the more connections there are in an ecosystem, the more likely that ecosystem is going to create the next unicorns of tomorrow.
You've invested in some Nigerian startups, but what do you look out for, before investing in such a startup?
So, and I have to say, we've been very lucky. Our Nigerian entrepreneurs' investment have done very, very, very well, which is also why we're absolutely looking forward to invest in more Nigerian entrepreneurs. So, the way we do investment is through our accelerator programs. So these are, think about it like bootcamp for entrepreneurs. And so if you're an entrepreneur, you go onto our website, you will see all the accelerators that we run all around the world, and you can apply to any of them, including the Lagos Accelerator. And you have to fill up a form. So we'll look at your application that is going to talk about your team, the markets you're trying to address, what specifically, why is what you're working on is different than what exists in the market? Like, what is it that is so special about your company? Do you have even some kind of minimum viable product, something that we can test? Do you have any beginning of a revenue? Like, what makes your startup special and different? If you pass that, basically, we will give you $120,000, have you go through this bootcamp for entrepreneurs, and then provide services and support even after you graduate from the accelerator, even after you got our investment. We're very, very well known for that. And you will also have access to our alumni group. This is 7,000 people, including quite a few Nigerians. As well as the mentor. Techstars has a lot of mentors, about 7,000 as well, which come from all around the world and all around all kind of industries. And so for us, we want to find entrepreneurs who have this great idea into a big market and have demonstrated an ability to be resilient, hardworking, innovative. And as far as I can tell, having been in Nigeria for a few days for the first time in my life, Nigeria has plenty of people like that.
So, pretty much we've had instances where unfavorable policies by government or mismanagement by founders, puts these startups in a position where they don't scale and don't make profits to repay the investment that people like you make. So what measures are you putting in place to ensure that this doesn't happen?
Part of the reason why we run these accelerators, this bootcamp program, is precisely to address that. And it's not specific to Nigeria. Most of the entrepreneurs we invest in have never built a company before. They do not have what I call the entrepreneurial muscle to run a company from the get-go. And so the reason why they go through these 3 months education is to make sure that they know how to manage money. They know how to run financials. Like, do they know what a cash flow, balance sheet, P&L P&L is. Do they know how to recruit people? Do they know how to compensate people? Do they have an idea about how to do what we call OKR and KPI, so basically key performance indicators and dashboards throughout the company, so that they know at any point in time what's going on in their business, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So we really take them from where they are, and that can vary. Some of them have a little more experience than others. But we take them from where they are, and by the end of the program, they are at a stage where we believe they have the toolbox, not just the money, because the money is important. But if you don't have the toolbox to use it properly, then you're going to be in trouble. And then the second thing that we do is we put them in touch with alumni and mentors who are going to be in the future sounding boards for them to make the same mistakes that others have done. I believe at Techstars that no one succeeds alone, and that the right way for an entrepreneur to succeed is to be surrounded by people who want them to be successful. And so that's for the second part of the question. Regarding government regulation, that is to a large extent why we decided to partner with ARM, because we believe that as a Nigerian company that has worked in the financial industry for a really long time, that has a very established and strong track record, including a partnership with the government around regulation, they would be able to not just help us, but more importantly, to help the portfolio companies that we are going to invest in together, to help them navigate what is always, not just in Nigeria, what is always a pretty difficult pain point for a lot of entrepreneurs. Like a lot of them, they have no idea how government works. They don't know who to go and talk to. And again, it's not just specific to Nigeria. We invest all around the world. I can tell you, I've been having this conversation with a lot of countries.
Maëlle Gave, the CEO of Techstars. That was an earlier interview conducted over the course of last week.